What up, guys? This is
Cheevo, guys.
back here again with another video. Today we're going to be doing an achievement breakdown on MLB The Show 21. Now, the price of this game on Xbox is $59.99. However, if you're playing on next gen, Xbox Series X or S, it's going to be $69.99. However, we all know it got released on Game Pass day one. So most of you guys should have access to this game, at least if you pay for Game Pass. Now, let's go over a few things that you should know before you dive into trying to get this 1000G or Platinum trophy. Now, with the video guides, it's going to take about 10 to 15 hours. That's with a boosting partner. Without a boosting partner, I'd estimate it's probably going to take about 15 to 20 hours. Otherwise, the thing that's going to take us the longest in this completion is going to be to complete March to October mode. March to October requires you to play a full season. Luckily, you aren't playing every single one of the 160 something games. You play like every 5 to 7 games. So it'll skip a few games and then it will have like a key moment that you need to play. And ultimately, if you know how to set this up, this could take about 5 hours to complete this mode. However, if you don't know how to set it up, it could take 10 to 15 hours to complete the mode. So make sure you guys watch my March to October achievement guide. Other than that, we need to play Road to the Show as well. We don't need to get super far into it or anything like that. We just need to get promoted from AA to AAA, and then finally from AAA to MLB. Once you get promoted to the MLB, you should have all of the achievements or trophies related to Road to the Show mode. Other than that, the game does not have any online achievements. However, you can boost online to make some of the achievements easier, but none of them specify that you have to play online at all, which is awesome because a lot of these sports games do have online achievements. Now, there's really no missables. There's things you want to keep an eye out, like when you're playing March to October to try to boost a player from the minor leagues. But other than that, I mean, you could start the mode over again and try to get it, so it isn't technically missable. Other than that, pretty much all of the miscellaneous achievements specify that it cannot be unlocked in practice or offline exhibition, so you can simply not boost with the second controller offline. If you want to do the boosting methods, you would need to find a boosting partner that has the game or has Game Pass to be able to boost with online. It makes a lot of these achievements way easier. Now, if we look at the stats, it looks like I've played this game for about 52 hours. And don't let that shy you away from trying to complete this game because it's not going to take that long, especially with the guides. I've pretty much covered all 25 achievements with individual achievement guides, so if you guys need help with any of these specific achievements, feel free to refer to my playlist for MLB The Show 21 achievement guides. Also, if you prefer written form, make sure you look up the solutions on trueachievements.com. There's a guy named Maximilian that has written plenty of good written form achievement guides for the game. So otherwise, we're going to be breaking down each of these achievements here in this achievement breakdown. If you've never watched any of my achievement breakdown videos before, sometimes when I cover games that, take multiple achievement videos or are lengthy or completions, I'll tend to do an achievement breakdown to kind of weave all of them together. So we're going to be going over a brief summary of each of these achievements so you guys have an idea of what you're diving into. If you want a more in-depth solution for each of these achievements, I recommend looking at the video guides for them. Now, I typically start this with the first achievement I unlocked all the way to the last achievement I unlocked. Now, the first one is called Baseball Satellite. As you can see, 75% of players have this achievement. This one will definitely come naturally, especially considering we need to hit 100 home runs. I'm going to be showing you that in a bit. The next one's called Grand Opening. It's for opening up your first pack in Diamond Dynasty mode. You can actually get this really easy by just completing the tutorial for the mode. You end up getting a pack at the end. Once you open it, you'll unlock this achievement. And the next one is called That Looks Classy. It's for equipping any bat skin. I found that the easiest way to do this is just to go to the auction house. They call it the marketplace in this game. And basically you just want to find someone that's selling one for super cheap, buy the skin, apply it to your bat, and you're going to unlock this easy achievement. I have a video guide up for this one as well. Now, our next few achievements are related to home runs. I have a video guide going over all of the home run related achievements. Basically, we need to win a home run derby. We also need to hit 25, 50, and then finally 100 home runs. You can actually do this really easily in home run derby as long as you pick a good player and you switch your batting interface to zone. Again, I have a video guide for this if you're having any trouble hitting home runs. And next, we have our first achievement in Road to the Show mode, which is basically a mode where you start off in the AA, you get promoted to the AAA, and then eventually, if you're good enough, you get promoted to the MLB. Those are all of the achievements related to this mode. I'll dive more into this once we get to the one for getting promoted to the MLB. I just knocked out this one earlier when I was messing with the achievements and trying to figure out how to get them. Now, our next achievement or trophy is called Friendly Gesture. This is for using pinpoint pitching. You basically have to switch your pitching interface to pinpoint pitching, and once you do that, you need to strike out 3 batters within the inning. Basically getting all 3 outs by yourself as the pitcher, making sure that they don't hit the ball and no outfielders or any other players catch the ball, anything like that. You need to get all 3 outs in the inning via your pitching. I also have a video guide for this one if you need a deep dive on how to get it. Now, our next one is going to be called Sneak Attack. This is for advancing a runner into scoring position or scoring a run with a sacrifice bunt. Technically, all you need to do is advance a player to the next base using a bunt. All you have to do is hold Y, or if you're playing on PlayStation, hold triangle to do a bunt, and hopefully you can get one of your other players to the next base, unlocking this achievement or trophy really easily. Now, our next achievement is called Mowing Them Down. It's for striking out 6 or more batters within the first 3 innings. As you can see, even with it being on Game Pass, about 75% of players have this one. As long as you're playing the CPU on beginner difficulty, this is actually really easy. All you need to do is just make sure that you strike out 6 batters out of the 9 opportunities of outs that you have in the first 3 innings. And about half of the players have this next one. It's called Work That Count. It's for falling behind in the count 0-2 and working back to a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is fairly simple as long as you understand the rules of baseball, but basically you need to be down 2 strikes, and then after that you need to get 3 balls, which gives you a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So basically the next ball would walk you, or the next strike would strike you out. Basically what I did is I just did this via a boosting method, found someone else that wanted to get the achievement, and let each other get the achievement. Nice and simple. If you have a boosting partner, it's going to make a lot of these achievements so much easier, and it's going to cut down your completion time a lot. And next is another achievement I also used a boosting partner for. If you want to know the boosting method, I also have a video guide showing you how to boost this achievement. But if you're going for the full 1000 gamer score or platinum trophy, there's a good chance that you would end up getting this in March to October mode, being that we actually need to complete that mode. But again, with this one, it's going to be quickest to get a boosting partner to help you boost it online. You can easily get this in under 3 minutes if you have someone help you out online. Basically, you need to walk your first batter in the game. Next is going to be another one that is related to walking batters. You have to record 8 or more walks on your team in one game. And basically what that requires is that the pitcher throws 4 balls and walks you. And you're going to have to rinse and repeat that 8 times to walk 8 players. Again, you're not walking them as the pitcher, you're getting walked as the batter or the hitters. This is another one that personally I boosted. If you boost with a partner in an online exhibition game, you can get this one in about 3 minutes or so. Because your boosting partner as the pitcher can just keep throwing balls and walk 8 players in a row, and you can get it nice and quick and hopefully return the favor for your boosting partner. Next, we have another one that's fairly simple as long as you understand the rules of baseball, and that's the dugout walk. And this one requires us to successfully pick off a runner on any base. To pick off a runner, you need to catch them basically leading off of the base, trying to steal a base. This is another one that I boosted. All you need to do is have your boosting partner lead off of the base a little bit, and then you throw it at the base. They're going to get out because they let off trying to steal. And that's another one that's much easier if you have an online boosting partner. If you need an online boosting partner, you can look in the comments of these individual boosting achievement guides, and you can find people trying to find partners to boost with. Anyhow, our next one is going to be called All About Hustle. It's for collecting 4 or more hits within a game with a single player. This is another one that I think you'll get naturally if you're actually going for the full completion, just because you're going to end up having to play March to October and Road to the Show mode just a little bit. And yeah, I mean, eventually I got this one naturally. This isn't one that I actually was focusing on or went for. Now, I'm sure you're starting to see a pattern here, but the next one is also one that I boosted. The game is just way easier to get the full 1000G and Platinum Trophy if you have a boosting partner. It makes a lot of these achievements just way faster to obtain. Now, this one requires us to win a 9-inning game, only allowing 3 hits or less. You pretty much gotta pitch a perfect game as a pitcher, so that one's definitely easier if you boost it. Now, our next one is the final achievement that you're going to get in the Road to the Show mode. I mentioned that we were going to talk about this earlier in the video, so Road to the Show is a mode where you start off in the double A, you end up getting promoted to the triple A, which gets you an achievement or trophy, and then hopefully you end up getting promoted to the MLB. You can do this all within one season. As long as you know what you're doing, I recommend watching my video guide or looking up the solution by Maximilian on trueachievements.com. You can actually get this done fairly quick, again, if you know what you're doing and you know how to upgrade your player. Now, on to the next one. The next one's going to require us to see 10 or more pitches at the mound as a hitter. To do this, you would need to get a full count. Again, 3 balls, 2 strikes. That would be 5 pitches that you have seen. On top of that, you need to hit 5 foul balls. That will get you to see 10 pitches at the mound. This one can be tricky. However, if you set it up the right way, you can actually get this one fairly quick in about, 15 minutes or so is about how long it took me. Now, our next one is one that you'll definitely get if you end up playing March to October mode, just because March to October starts you off in the later innings, typically the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, and typically you end up in these clutch moments or situations where you're required to score a run to save the game. And this will definitely trigger this achievement, but if not, you can just set up a 3-inning game against an online boosting partner and let each other score a walk-off run at the end of the 3rd inning. I have a video guide on how to boost this as well. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but at this point in my journey to 1000 gamer score, all I had left was pretty much achievements related to March to October. I had to try to finish the mode, which requires you to play through the full season. Luckily, you only have to play, every 4 or 5 games. It doesn't require you to actually play all of the games. This should take you about 10 hours or so to complete this mode. However, I have a video guide on how to beat it in half that time by setting up the proper settings. So just keep in mind that you do need to complete this mode. You need to get all the way to the World Series. Not only that, but you need to win the World Series. After you win the World Series, you're going to get the achievement for winning the World Series in March to October. This is pretty much the lengthiest achievement in the game, and you'll get a lot of achievements naturally while playing through this mode. So I actually suggest starting off with this mode and getting it out of the way. Again, it should take you about 5 to 6 hours. As long as you know how to beat it quickly and set up the settings correctly. Now, if we're talking about the fast track achievement specifically, it requires us to fast track a prospect by earning a boost in a minor league player lock episode. You're going to run across an opportunity where you have a minor league player to be called up. You want to call them up. They're going to have a player lock episode, which if you haven't played this game mode quite yet, it's basically a game where you play as that player the full game, and you have to, manage the game from that player's point of view rather than the team's point of view. And if you, set up the right settings, it actually makes these player lock episodes a lot faster and a lot easier. But as long as you can have a successful game in that player lock episode, you're going to end up getting a promotion or like a boost with this player, which will unlock or trigger this achievement or trophy. I actually have a video guide up for this one if you need a deep dive on it. The next one is called chopping firewood. It requires us to break a hitter's bat as the pitcher. So you need to be playing as the pitcher. You need to throw more than likely a fastball that's going to end up breaking the hitter's bat. This one is probably the hardest achievement to get in the game. The only reason I say that is because it's completely luck based. It's randomized. There's no way to actually get this. There's some solutions on True Achievements that maybe will help your chances by adjusting some settings, but when it comes to how I ended up getting it naturally when I was playing March to October mode. The weird thing about it is about half of the players that have played this game have this achievement, which is a crazy number, being that the game is on Game Pass, but just play the game and you'll end up getting this one naturally. I wouldn't necessarily focus on trying to get it, because believe me, there's other achievements that you can focus in on the meantime. Besides that, we have our next achievements, which are related to March to October. One for getting to the playoffs and winning the divisional round. And then second, going to the World Series and winning the World Series. Now, I have a video guide diving into this whole mode and how this whole thing works. But to sum it up, when you're playing this mode, you aren't playing a full game. A lot of the times you're just starting off in the 6th inning and playing from there, especially in these playoff games. So you're really just playing the final 3 innings of the game. Sometimes you're down in runs, sometimes you're up in runs. Personally, I didn't find any games where I ended up losing, but if you do lose, you can press the guide button and force quit the game. This will, make sure that the game doesn't register it as a loss. If you exit via the pause menu, it will save it and register it as a loss. The only thing I want to mention is if you do this too many times, the game will recognize it and it could cost you rewards. So just make sure that if you actually care about the in-game rewards, which they aren't related to the achievements, but if you're actually going to continue playing this game past the achievements, don't do the guide quit or the force quit too many times. Other than that, that's pretty much going to cover the whole achievement breakdown for the game. Personally, I think that this is going to take about 10 to 15 hours for most people, depending on if you have a boosting partner and your skill. But for the most part, it's really not that skill dependent. If you have it on beginner difficulty and you have the guides to help you out, you can really get this done in, honestly, about 10 to 12 hours. So just make sure that if you need any help, you guys look at the individual achievement guides. Other than that, I appreciate you guys tuning in for another achievement breakdown. I know this isn't too common where I cover a big game with a lot of videos, but thanks for bearing with me while I post all of these baseball videos. Hopefully over time they start to do well. Other than that, I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers. We just hit 16 patrons. I'd like to give a special shout out to everybody in the biggest fan club, including Tim G84, AOJ, Kegger101, Michael Banksa, and Purple Rain 6. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.